Trading is not as easy as a lot of people make it, but also don't overcomplicate it. Take your time, don't rush it. It took me, I would say, at least 10 years before I could call myself an actual trader. It's not easy, and I think a lot of people don't see the actual time you have to put in. I really was enticed by Hola Prime. I think it was more of the connection when I was speaking with not just like customer support, but the people behind it were just more welcoming. It's hard to describe, it's hard to put exactly, it just felt like less of kind of a corporation and you're just kind of like a customer, so to speak. It was more like you were part of a kind of a community, and I really like that.
Hello everyone. Today we have a very special guest with us, Sam. He has hosted multiple interviews here at Hola Prime, but today the tables have turned and he is the host in the host seat. We are excited to hear his side of the story and dive into his experiences. Sam also serves as the lead for UK operations, so we are in for some valuable insights. Let's get started. Hi Sam.
Hello, Megan.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me. It feels strange sitting on this side of the set.
So Sam, can you tell us how you first became a trader? What motivated you to pursue this career path?
It's a very good question. It's been a long time ago when I first kind of knew about trading, so to speak. I think there's got to be a distinction made of when you actually become a trader and when you first start pursuing trading, because the process of when you first pursue trading, it can be years and years before you can actually call yourself a trader, right? So, and for me, it was a long process because there was a lot of failure, obviously, as every new trader has, and I gave up many times. And now looking back, I think, why did I give up? If only I kind of pursued it a bit more and actually, knuckled down and did it properly, I could be so much further ahead in my life. But, that's part of, I think, maturing and getting older, and you look back at your decisions when you were younger, and, sometimes you wish you did things differently. But I feel trading was kind of enticed me because I like the idea that I'm in full control. I've always been quite entrepreneurial, I would say. And I've always wanted to, start my own business and so to speak. But I felt a lot of businesses out there, you're still dependent on something. If you do, let's just take, e-commerce as an example, start up your own shop. What's stopping the platform from kicking you off? Or, your suppliers, upping their prices and you can't be competitive? Or there's so many other factors that could actually hurt your business. But with trading, it's you and the market and nothing else. No one can stop you. As long as you master it, you're kind of in a strange way untouchable, if that makes sense. You can never fail as long as you actually really pursue it and really master it. So that's what gripped me about trading, and that's what kept me going, essentially.
Very interesting. But I wonder, did you take any course? Did you join any mentor?
Yeah, at the beginning I did. But again, we're talking, I started when I was like 19. So and I'm approaching 34. Painful. So it was a long time ago, and trading was a completely different landscape to as it's now. Like, we didn't really have, like YouTube, so to speak. I think YouTube did exist, but it wasn't really how it is today. So it was very much, the old school internet where people on forums would speak, and there were a few people kind of doing mentoring courses, but it was all very high ticket, and I didn't kind of really have the funds at the time to, join their courses, so to speak. So I kind of just learnt by trial and error, was probably the biggest one, and just little bits of information that was out there. But again, it took me, I would say, at least 10 years before I could call myself an actual trader, so to speak, and actually make an income from it. So it's not easy, and I think a lot of people don't see the actual time you have to put in. I think nowadays, with all the resources that are available, sure, a new trader can speed up that process. But when I started, it was very, very hard to get access to the right information.
Very interesting. And how did you join Hola Prime? What's your story?
Good question. So, at this point, I was already trading for many years, and I was trading obviously my own capital. And I just thought what I was doing is I was starting many different accounts with different brokers of my own capital. So I would split it up. So I was managing basically, I can't remember exactly how many, but say like 4 or 5 accounts of my own money. And I was using, copy over the trades on all these accounts simultaneously. And that was just a way of kind of making more money and kind of reducing my risk by splitting up my money. And when prop trading kind of, took off, and I was thinking, why don't I join a prop trading firm at the same time? Get a few accounts with them. And it doesn't take any more effort. I'm still trading exactly the same. It automatically copies over. And yeah, that's kind of how I found Hola Prime. I did try a few other prop trading firms. A lot of them, I'm not going to go into details because, it's not really my place to say, but I really was enticed by Hola Prime. I think it was more of the connection when I was speaking with not just like customer support, but like the people behind it were just more welcoming. It's hard to describe. It's hard to put exactly, the reason behind it, but it just felt like less of kind of a corporation and you're just kind of like a customer, so to speak. It was more like you were part of a kind of a community. And I really like that. And that's how essentially I started. So I started as a trader.
Okay.
And I kind of built up a relationship with people. And, and now, today, I've become part of the team. So, and I think that shows how Hola Prime does differ from other firms. Because I don't think that would happen with pretty much any other firm out there. Again, there's a clear divide, right? You've got the firm and the customers or clients, and that never really crosses. With Hola Prime, it's different, and
Yeah, it's very interesting, right? Like you joined as a trader, and now you're leading UK operations. So how does it feel?
not quite real. It's still like I would never have imagined that would happen. When I first signed up to Hola Prime, like never in a million years did I think, oh yeah, I'll be part of the UK operations. Like it's just insanity. And I still don't fully understand how it happened in a weird way. It was just kind of it was just kind of evolved and it happened. And like I said, I built up a relationship with people behind the scenes, and and from there they said, oh, we're looking to expand the UK, and you're in the UK, and I was like, yeah, okay, I'll do a bit of, I'll help you guys out a bit, and next thing I know, I'm leading it, and it's crazy, but it feels amazing. I mean, it's amazing. Yeah, I have no complaints. It's absolutely amazing, and I still get to trade. I still get to do what I love, and I get to see be at the ground up of building a prop firm that is what I would say is world class and probably the best in the world.
So now that you have been with Hola Primes for some time now, how has your experience been with the company, and anything that you really love about the company?
Sure. Very good question. Like, I think my experience is quite unique because I got to experience it from both sides. From a client point of view, right at the beginning, as a funded trader, and as an employee's point of view. So I got to experience both sides. So it's very unique. I'll talk about the clients like as a funded trader, that side first. Look, I mean, payouts were amazing. The rules were clear. Everything, that and all the marketing material that we preach is absolutely true. So, I was very happy as a funded trader, and I had no complaints. And it was a great experience. And I still manage the accounts to this day. So I'm still technically kind of a client. But as working for Hola Prime, probably some of the most welcoming people I've ever met. It's hard to point just like one point, or just pinpoint one thing. It's really, you don't really feel like you're part of a company, so to speak, because the company's traditionally is quite clinical and rigid, and do the wrong thing, you get punished, and like it doesn't really feel like that at all. It's very much everyone, regardless of where you are in the company, kind of has a voice. If you have a good idea or something, even like at the highest levels, they will listen and take that on board. It's very much like a community of people who are all very passionate about trading, trying to build something that doesn't really exist out there. And yeah, it's fantastic.
So now, Sam, you have been a trader. You have been on this side, and now you are with the company, as a lead for UK operations. Do you have any message for our traders?
A message for all the traders. There's a lot of advice you could give out there, but I think in terms of if they're already an Hola Prime trader, let's put it this way, or just took a challenge or whatever it might be, if they're already signed up, I would say, look, trading is not as easy as a lot of people make it, but also don't overcomplicate it. Take your time, don't rush it. The more you try to rush, get money quickly. I know we offer 1 hour payouts, and that's fantastic. But also, just relax. You don't need to necessarily, try and make as much money as possible in the next, couple of days or something. It's that necessarily wouldn't also, it doesn't necessarily mean like it's more impressive if you can make money really fast. Well, consistency is kind of, the key with trading. And if you can prove that consistency as well, we're going to be way more impressed than if you're just trying to make as much money in a really short period of time as well. So take your time with it, relax. The challenge doesn't have to be completed in 2 days. Take your time. If it takes a month, 2 months, whatever it might be, just take your time, relax, stick to the rules, and understand that, look, the possibilities are somewhat endless, I would say. You can scale. I would say just be patient, relax. That's probably the biggest one. I know it's quite a boring answer, so to speak, but it's probably the most truthful one as well.
I wouldn't
I'm going to leave it there.
I wouldn't call that a boring answer, Sam. That was a very good answer. I think our traders who are watching this podcast, they will be really motivated.
So, I hope so. I absolutely hope so.
Yeah. Thank you so much for being here, talking to us.
Thank you for inviting me to be in the hot seat for a change.
I'm glad.
Feels very strange, but I'm all for it. It's great. Thank you.